A warm welcome to all our viewers. I'm your host Pratiksha Mishra and you're watching another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. Indian Railways ranks amongst the world's largest railway networks both in size and passenger volume. Rapid expansion, electrification and modernization such as semi-high-speed trains, smart stations and digital ticketing are transforming it into a globally competitive system. With green initiatives and infrastructure upgrades, India is fast improving its global standing, showcasing efficiency, connectivity and sustainability. Take a look. Across the misty hills and deep valleys of India's northeast, a quiet revolution is unfolding. Once seen as too remote or rugged, these landscapes are now being stitched into the national fabric on tracks of transformation. A striking example is Mizoram's Bairabi-Sairang railway line. Spanning 32 miles of unforgiving terrain, it has for the first time linked as well to India's railway network, turning daunting challenges into a milestone of progress.
A few years ago, I had the opportunity of laying the foundation stone for the Aizawl railway line. And today, we proudly dedicate it to the people of the nation. Overcoming many challenges, including difficult terrain, this Bairabi-Sairang rail line has become a reality. The skills of our engineers and the spirit of our workers made this possible.
Today, railway projects of 77,000 crore rupees are undergoing construction in the entire Northeast. That is our Prime Minister's doctrine of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas.
Indian Railways, one of the world's largest networks, spans 42,000 miles and carries millions daily. With rapid electrification, modern trains and smart stations, it is driving connectivity, sustainability and growth. Through the Amrit Bharat Station scheme, stations are being reimagined as modern transport hubs with upgraded amenities, better accessibility and vibrant urban spaces designed through master plans that blend sustainability with each location's unique character.
I came here to Warangal 4 years ago and there were no such facilities like food facilities, food stalls, that CCTV cameras and the neatness wise, everything it has changed a lot within these 4 years, and I can see the sanitation, proper cleanliness everywhere, and it has boosted its maintenance as well.
Definitely compared to from last 10 years, there is incredible change in the facilities given by the Indian Railways. So I would like to thank you Indian Railways for this.
In recent years, Indian Railways has transformed its network with landmark projects. High in the Himalayas, the Udhampur-Srinagar-Baramulla line, crowned by the world's highest Chenab Bridge, proves no terrain is too remote and no challenge too great. In the south, the new Pamban Bridge stands as a symbol of ambition. Replacing a century-old link, this vertical lift marvel connects Rameshwaram to the mainland, an engineering feat built to endure cyclones, quakes and turbulent seas. These achievements place Indian Railways in the league of the world's finest networks, revealing the engineering daring of Switzerland's alpine routes, the efficiency of Japan's Shinkansen, and the scale of China's high-speed corridors. with high-speed rail projects shrinking distances, futuristic stations redefining passenger comfort, and rapid electrification advancing sustainability, India is setting new benchmarks. From the Himalayan heights to the southern seas, each project weaves into a single story, a seamless modern India on the move, powered by resilience, innovation, and vision. Concerns are mounting over Bangladesh's worsening political crisis, with allegations of human rights abuses and suppression of dissent under the current leadership. The situation has alarmed not only in the international community but also the global Bangladeshi diaspora. In a show of solidarity and protest, hundreds gathered at London's iconic Trafalgar Square to rally against the regime of Nobel Laureate Muhammad Yunus, demanding the restoration of democratic rights and freedoms in their homeland. Take a look.
The political situation in Bangladesh has drawn growing concern from the international community and diaspora groups, as allegations of human rights abuses, suppression of dissent, and authoritarian governance continue to mount. In a demonstration of unity and political expression, a large number of British Bangladeshis and members of the Bangladeshi diaspora gathered at London's iconic Trafalgar Square to participate in a large-scale rally for Bangladesh. Organized in opposition to what participants described as the repressive Yunus regime, the event was marked by slogans, speeches, and widespread calls for the restoration of democratic rights in Bangladesh.
In relation to the evaporation of human rights, especially that of lawyers, professors, doctors, other key senior citizens like those who participated in the Great Liberation War or the freedom struggle for Bangladesh, the Mukti Bahini members who are still alive, they're quite aged. It is absolutely despicable and deplorable in whatever words or language possible to Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, who himself is a Nobel laureate, and it demonstrates that he has absolutely completely failed to get a grasp on the situation. He came on the pretext of ensuring the re-emergence of a new Bangladesh with law and order, a respect of law, and a corruption-free government with benefits of the economy which the common people would share. So he had this rosy picture painted riding on the back of a Nobel, the Peace Prize which he won.
The Bangladesh Awami League, which has been vocal in its opposition to Yunus's leadership, amplified the rally's impact through its official X account. The party also highlighted the symbolic importance of the location, noting that in 1971, Trafalgar Square hosted landmark gatherings to rally international support for Bangladesh's liberation war. The political and geopolitical trajectory of Bangladesh under the leadership of Muhammad Yunus is experiencing a marked decline, characterized by rising concerns over regional security implications. Experts and analysts caution that the situation in Bangladesh now carries implications that extend well beyond domestic politics.
The risks of Bangladesh are too high, and if the country is in such a sliding slope in the next 5 to 10 years, we will see a tremendous escalation of violence and instability in the region, especially with this proposed humanitarian corridor with the Arakan or the Rohingya state, and foreign intervention of intelligence agencies. So not only the people of Bangladesh but its surrounding neighbors, that including India and the rest of Southeast Asia, are literally on a knife's edge, and the situation, if not controlled, it might soon spiral out of any shape or form and result in a complete catastrophe. And we only will have Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, Nobel laureate, to blame, because he is in the center seat at this moment, driving the country. So he has got more than 1 year in office. He has got no more excuses.
If the current trajectory continues unchecked, Bangladesh risks plunging further into political turmoil and social unrest, with rising instability threatening to destabilize not just the country but the entire region. Experts caution that without immediate and decisive intervention, Bangladesh could descend into state failure, characterized by widespread chaos, economic collapse, and increasing international isolation, jeopardizing the very independence and sovereignty hard-won by previous generations.
Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent. As Nepal braced for its peak tourist season while in protest, the deadliest the country has seen in decades, have triggered a steep downturn in tourism. What was expected to be a period of economic revival for local businesses has instead turned into a crisis. Hotel operators, trekking companies, and tourism officials report a 30% drop in arrivals, with cancellations cutting deep into revenues during what is typically the busiest time of year. South Korean university students and activists marched down the streets in Seoul to mourn conservative American influencer Charlie Kirk. In the footage provided by the rally organizer Freedom Univ, more than 100 students and activists were seen marching and chanting slogans such as "We are Charlie Kirk." Dubai unveiled a new contactless immigration system at its international airport, allowing passengers to clear border control simply by walking through a red carpet corridor without presenting any documentation. The smart tunnel system, currently operational at Terminal 3's Business Departure Hall, uses AI-powered biometric technology to verify travelers' identities automatically. Pakistan's long-standing duplicity in the so-called war on terror is once again under global scrutiny. At the United Nations Human Rights Council's 60th session, alarming allegations emerged against the Pakistani military, accused not only of gross human rights violations in the Pashtun belt, but of running sham counter-terrorism operation designed to shield terrorists, not eliminate them. A report.
Pakistan has long been accused of playing a dangerous and duplicitous game in its fight against terrorism. On one hand, conducting military operations, while on other, allegedly nurturing and using militant groups as strategic assets. This so-called fake experiment with terrorism has not only destabilized the region, but also led to severe human rights abuses, especially in Pashtun-dominated northwestern areas of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. At the 60th session of United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva, Pashtun political activist Fazlur Rahman Afridi accused the Pakistani military of orchestrating fake counter-terrorism operations that in reality have caused widespread civilian suffering while providing cover for terrorist activities.
We are here at the United Nations Human Rights Council's 60th session to inform the international community about the ongoing consecutive military operations in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, where innocent Pashtun people, women and children are being killed by using drones and even F-16s jet bombers by the Pakistani military. So this is for the last few sessions we have been informing the United Nations Human Rights Council about the TTP that is being installed in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa by the state of Pakistan under an agreement in which 55,000 TTP leaders and their family members were settled in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and now the Pakistani government says that they are, launching operations against these TTP.
The Pakistani government has been accused of adopting contradictory policies, negotiating and sometimes reaching ceasefire agreements with terrorist groups while simultaneously conducting so-called military operations against them. This ambiguity has led to widespread skepticism about the true nature of Pakistan's counter-terrorism strategy.
We tell the international community that there is no difference between the Pakistani military and the TTP. During the day, they are in the military uniforms, and in the night, they become Taliban. So we want to inform the international community that these operations are fake operations. The main purpose of these operations is to kill innocent people, and in almost all the cases, especially in the drone attacks, innocent children and women are being killed. More than 40 drone attacks have been conducted in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and not a single TTP leader has been killed by those drone attacks. And recently, even they have started using the F-16, and the main purpose is to create spaces for TTP and terrorists in these areas, install training camps in these areas, and then export these terrorists to other countries in the region.
Despite mounting evidence and persistent calls from human rights organizations, international bodies and affected communities for accountability, Pakistan steadfastly denies any wrongdoing. Instead, the state continues to maintain a deliberate policy of deception, obfuscating the truth, suppressing dissent, and silencing victims through intimidation and violence. This systematic brutality not only conceals the extent of human rights abuses, but also enables the military to operate with impunity, fueling further instability and suffering in the Pashtun regions and beyond.
India's rich heritage lives on in its historic towns and grand mansions that echo tales of the past. One such gem is Mandava in Rajasthan, where Havelis or heritage mansions speak through their walls. Adorned with frescoes of gods, kings and daily life, this living museum offers an enchanting journey through art, architecture and culture. Many of these magnificent Havelis now have been transformed into heritage hotels, offering visitors a royal experience that draws large numbers of foreign tourists eager to relive Rajasthan's grandeur. Take a look.
Mandava, nestled in the heart of Rajasthan, is a living canvas of history and art. Renowned for its painted Havelis and intricate frescoes, the town preserves centuries-old craftsmanship. Its timeless charm not only draws travelers from across the globe, but has also made it a favorite backdrop for Bollywood movies. Many of Mandava's grand Havelis and palatial mansions have now been lovingly restored into heritage hotels. These regal stays are not just places to rest. They offer guests a chance to step into Rajasthan's royal past, savor traditional delicacies, and immerse themselves in the vibrant local culture. For visitors, it is an experience where history, hospitality, and heritage come alive under one roof.
यहाँ फ्रेस्को पेंटिंग है, बहुत सी हवेलियों में है और काफ़ी पुरानी हवेलियाँ हैं। उनमें से यहाँ का एक गढ़ भी है, वो भी काफ़ी पुराना है और हेरिटेज प्रॉपर्टी है। उसमें भी आज होटल की स्थापना हो गई है और बहुत सी हवेलियाँ ऐसी है मंडावा में जो होटल में कन्वर्ट हो चुकी है, क्योंकि विदेशी पर्यटक उसको बहुत लाइक करते हैं, इसलिए वो होटल बन चुके हैं। और अलख्यान जोड़ा करके भी यहाँ पर है, कुछ कुएँ हैं, उनको देखने के लिए कि पानी हाथ से कैसे निकालते थे, वो लोग देखने के लिए आते थे।
Mandava is not only famed for its painted Havelis and lively markets, but also for its spiritual soul. At its heart stands the sacred Shiva temple, a haven of peace and culture. In 2017-18, the Ministry of Tourism invested about $8.8 million under the Heritage Circuit scheme, underscoring its commitment to preserving Rajasthan's cultural legacy while fostering sustainable tourism. Tourists, especially from abroad, are captivated by the rich cultural heritage of Mandava.
And my excitement about visiting India is to discovering the landscapes, culture, taking picture and share it with my friends, discovering the temples, even the people. They are very kind, always smiling. There are always a lot of colors in India, and it's very beautiful.
Only see the time. The time is kind of breathing between the walls and the color of the city. We can see that the color are old and the buildings are really old, and everything can tell you about the time passing in this ancient city. So it's amazing how to walk in these streets and visiting all these shops made by leather and also silk, amazing tissues, artists that are making everything possible. Everything you can imagine, you can find it here.
The bustling markets of Mandava are a treasure trove of traditional crafts and vibrant colors. Mandava is especially famous for its authentic camel leather shoes, which are crafted with care and precision by generations of craftsmen. Visitors can also find beautifully painted puppets that tell stories through their artistry. The boost in heritage tourism in Rajasthan brings more business to local artisans.
तो अंग्रेज देखते हैं पुरानी चीज़ों को, कितने साल पहले कितने पैसा होगा इनके पास, कितनी बड़ी बड़ी हवेलियाँ बनाई है, ये वो आते हैं, अंग्रेज आते हैं पुरानी चीज़ों को देखने के लिए। अरे हम लोग चाहते हैं कि विदेशी यहाँ आए, हमारा बिजनेस चले, से कवाटी राजस्थान में अपना डेवलपमेंट हो।
टूरिस्ट लोग आते हैं तो उनसे आमदनी अच्छी होती है, ऐसी बात नहीं है, सभी पर्यटक खरीदते भी नहीं है, लेकिन जो कला की जानकारी रखते हैं वो द्वितीय देशी पहनते हैं।
The heritage walk in Mandava is like stepping into a living museum, where every narrow lane leads to havelis adorned with intricate frescoes and carvings of a bygone era. This timeless town draws tourists, researchers, and art lovers alike, offering stories etched in walls and culture that still breathes. Mandava shows how heritage tourism can revive a town, support its people, and bridge past with present, an experience that lingers long after you leave.
In Mandava, every wall whispers history and every stay is a step back in time. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Till then, goodbye and take care.